prompts.
Oh, yes.
No.
They were ready.
Okay. Good afternoon. Today is January 7th, 2020. Happy New Year and welcome to the first regular town board meeting of the year 2020. Tim, can you take the lead and let's stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, we always invite someone from the faith community to come and offer the invocation. Today we'd like to bring up Reverend Mary Cooper to deliver the invocation. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Would you please stand? And join here the person next to you. For this is a new year. Oh, yes. Praise God.
There we go.
Go to Frank. Frank, grab her hand.
Tim, grab Reverend's hand. Come on.
That's okay, she won't bite.
Freedom to fall over.
Father, we come before your presence with thanksgiving and praise. We thank you for this beautiful day that you've made for us to rejoice and be exceedingly glad in. And Lord, we thank you for this new board that has come together, oh God, that will rule and take charge. We ask that you will give them wisdom, understanding, and knowledge, oh God, that they will make the crooked straight, that they will pass laws and other resolutions, oh God, that would be a blessing to everyone in the community. We ask, oh God, that you would bless each person who's here today, bless their families. Let them know that you sit high and look low. You even behold the robins, oh God, and the birds. And we know that we are more than that, and you will take care of all of us. We ask, oh God, that you would bless the supervisor, oh God, and her staff, that they will do miracles in this place, oh God. We thank you for this land of the free and home of the brave, and we thank you for this town of Riverhead, for there's no other town like it. We give you praise, glory, and honor. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. That was very nice.
Thank you. Does anyone want to make a motion to accept the town board meetings minutes for December 3rd, December 17th, 2019, and the special town board meeting on January 2nd, 2020?
I move to accept the minutes.
Second?
Move second and vote, please.
Bayrod,
Yes.
Kent,
Yes.
Hubbard,
Yes.
Giglio,
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
The minutes are approved, and I will go right into correspondence and reports. I'll start with reports. The building department submitted their December 2019 monthly report, and that was $55,492. Tax receivers submitted their total tax collection to date as of January 2nd, and that was $24,259,692.30. Town clerk submitted December 2019 monthly report, $9,732.69. Under correspondence, a letter from Robert Skinner, and that was regarding helicopter noise, and he had an attached letter to the FAA. There was an anonymous letter regarding Riverhead Raceway, and a letter from John McAuliffe, and that was regarding the sale of EPCAL property to the Gramasian and Preston people. And I think Catherine had something under correspondence she wanted to talk about?
We received a letter from Jeffrey Seaman, one of our environmental planners, in reference to the NextEra project. I want to read the letter into the record. I apologize in advance, it's rather lengthy, but I'll try to move at a good pace. I think it's important information. I think it's important to get it into the record. Dear Honorable Supervisor Aguirre and members of the town board, I am a certified environmental professional and have conducted CEQA studies in Riverhead for more than 20 years. I have no professional interest in the proposed NextEra development, and if requested by the town of Riverhead or the applicant to become professionally involved, I shall respectfully decline. However, as a certified environmental professional, I am bound by the Academy of the Board of Certified Environmental Professionals Standards of Professional Practice and code of ethics, and therefore obligated to bring these concerns to your attention, as well as for the benefit of the two new members of the lead agency who may be unaware of the existing SECRA record and review procedures under 6 NYCRR Part 617. A secret determination of significance memorializes the potential for environmental impacts generated by an action. As intended under the law, the determination is a non-political decision, free of prejudice and impartial. The consideration of the tabled resolution 219-827 by the town board as secret lead agency may adversely influence the quality and integrity of secret reviews conducted by the Riverhead Planning Board. Issuing a negative declaration of significance on Nextera, a type 1 action, will cause a gap in the planning board's secret record and render previous secret reviews incomplete, inconsistent, and vulnerable to challenge. A negative declaration may damage both the special permit issued for S-Power 1 as well as the validity and significance of the town board's written comments to the New York State Public Service Commission prepared by Town Building and Planning Administrator Jefferson Murphy, AICP, for the S-Power 2 solar project. On behalf of the town of Riverhead, I have been professionally engaged for conducting secret reviews on several solar projects. This includes the secret review of the draft and final environmental impact study and the finding statement of the S-Power 1, a 20-milliwatt solar facility in Calverton, preparation of the supplemental EIS and supplemental finding statement for S-Power 1 on behalf of the planning board. On behalf of the town board, I have provided extensive review and comments to the preliminary scoping statement for S-Power 2, a 36-milliwatt commercial solar facility planned for Calverton under review by the Public Service Commission pursuant to Article 10 procedures. In the aforementioned study, there was no specific mention or identification of the Nextera 22.9 milliwatt project. Unbeknownst to the planning board and the undersigned, on September 4, 2018, the Nextera EAF Part 1 and site plan application was filed with the town. The planning board adopted March 1, 2019 supplemental EIS for S-Power 1, which required all proposed solar facilities in Riverhead be identified, and the attendant supplemental finding statement were adopted without inclusion of Nextera. The October 2018 written comments on S-Power 2 submitted to the NYSPSC also lacked a reference to Nextera. The significance of these omissions is explained below. During the environmental review of S-Power 1, potential adverse impacts were identified, specifically growth-inducing impacts such that the planning board imposed a covenant upon the Gentile line and its easement restricting its use to S-Power 1 project only 20 milliwatts as mitigation. There would be no opportunity for additional solar facilities to share the Gentile line easement for connection to the Edwards Avenue substation, thus controlling the proliferation of solar facilities on the west side of Edwards Avenue in the 11933 zip code until further projects were further analyzed under SECRA. The town board cannot and must not issue a negative declaration to Nextera to nullify these mitigating measures. The planning board's secret review of the EIS for the S-Power 1 required identification of all potential proposed solar developments in the Calverton area as a method to evaluate growth inducement and cumulative impacts. When the applicant's EIS failed to include its own S-Power 2 36 milliwatt facility, the planning board as lead agency required preparation of a supplemental EIS to correct the SECRA record. Again, there were no specific identifications of the Nextera project, and thus the planning board, having not included Nextera in its review, has no mention of Nextera in its adopted supplemental EIS for S-Power 1, resulting in an incomplete and flawed SECRA record. The S-Power 1 positive declaration of significance set a precedent for determination of significance. When a lead agency is reviewing projects of similar type, location, and magnitude such as Nextera, it must be consistent with prior determinations. The S-Power 1 SECRA review cannot be used as replacement for the Nextera SECRA review, nor can it be used as a generic impact statement under SECRA, as it was specific to the S-Power 1 project. In addition to the inadequacy of cumulative impacts assessment, There is also a serious concern for segmentation under secret procedures. And then he gives, information on that. I'm not gonna read that. The lead agency is responsible for reviewing the application as a whole project on behalf of the involved agencies. The applicant must demonstrate its ability to comply with all the relevant permits, approval requirements from agencies. Each of these permit requirements and any special conditions imposed could alter the project or its impact potential. The EIS process would allow the public and other agencies to be more directly involved, offer comments on the record, and identify how the project may or may not work as a whole project. In the case of Nextera, 3 additional agency reviews include New York State DEC Part 666 Wild and Scenic Recreational Rivers Permit, which requires the applicant demonstrate alternatives that remove the development from within the Wild, Scenic, Recreational Rivers jurisdiction boundary to the greatest extent practical. The Suffolk County Department of Health Services for closure of the sanitary disposal systems at the maintenance barn and clubhouse, and New York State DEC compliance with the decommissioning of the irrigation well located on its easterly parcel. These approvals were not all listed on the environmental assessment form, and thus the coordinated review is incomplete. Has the site been evaluated for the presence of other environmental quality concerns, including storage, presence of pesticides, fertilizer, fuel associated with the site's past use of a golf course? Has coordinated review been completed by the Central Pine Barrens Commission or New York State Department of Ag and Markets, who commented on the regional loss of agriculture generated by this type of development? How much C&D will be generated by demolishing the clubhouse, maintenance barn, golf course, irrigation systems, and other existing infrastructure? When will these development issues be assessed? How can the lead agency come to a conclusion that there are no potential adverse environmental impacts without completely evaluating the proposed action? Based on the aforementioned information and history of secret reviews, and with my extensive experience in and knowledge in these matters, it is my professional opinion that the secret determination of significance for the Nextera application for the Town Board Special Permit and Planning Board Site Plan may result in a positive declaration of significance necessitating the preparation of an EIS. This EIS would serve to address the aforementioned secret deficiencies, including segmentation, and maintain an accurate, complete, and defensible secret record of decision. Thank you for your consideration, Jeffrey Seaman. And I thank my board members for allowing me to proceed with this, and the rest of you for sitting quietly while I read this into the record. But this is a significant decision for the town of Riverhead. I think that it needs to be done in the proper way. I am not interested in moving something forward quickly for a private company. It is our job to protect the town, and I would like the board to have time to discuss this as a new board, and particularly to give Councilman Bayrott and the supervisor time to get up to speed on all of this.
Okay, and in the future, if we have something that long, maybe we'll bring it to a work session, and then we can discuss it,
Right.
and then we can bring it out, because we need to move, that's why we have the work sessions, is to have discussions, have a communication come in, discuss it within people, put it off, and then when we come to a town board, but that's, one individual's, response to the project. We have to look at it collectively and look at both sides and make a decision.
And there's no
together.
resolution in the packet to vote on today.
Yes, so that was,
I
that
just wanted to-
belongs in the, and again, we need to have our work sessions flow, and, we have a lot of people here today, people are watching it. This is something more for a work session
It's
where we can.
disruptive.
It is, and again, it's an important matter that we all have to address together as a board, and let's make, those kinds of, lengthy, long decisions on something that it's not related to a resolution, pertain, and, be held at a work session. So moving forward,
Because there was a response to that letter also today that I'm not even gonna bother reading, because it will be discussed at a work session, seeing as it's not a matter up for a vote today.
and the letter just came in within the last day or so.
Yeah.
So it's, we need to, talk to people, we need to, coming from, as a former investigator, look at the bigger picture and investigate the circumstances, the facts, and then make a good justifiable decision. So anyway, moving forward,
Did you want me to do it?
Yes,
So,
sure.
if I could, Madam Supervisor, please. There was, in the hearing that we had in 2019, resolutions number 282 and 283, the record is very clear, and the clerk's notes were very clear that I had voted no on those two resolutions. However, it shows up in the system that I voted yes on those two resolutions. So the clerk has made those changes to the computer system to reflect my no vote, because that's what was in the minutes, and that was in her notes. It was a Scrivener's error when they took the information and actually put it into the computer system. So resolutions number 2019-282 and 283 were a no vote by me, and that's what my statement was prior to the vote, but it was put into the system as if I voted yes. So the clerk has made those corrections.
Okay, and just as a side note, for those of you who are here, or be watching the video at another time, thank you for attending our inauguration. It was an all-inclusive event. There was a lot of vibe. It was very positive.
Great.
We had record-breaking people. We had over 350 people at the theater. And thank you for those who supported us.
And thank you for the host, Bob Castaldi.
Yes.
It's a
And Devin.
Beautiful venue.
Devin,
And Devin.
Higgins,
Yep.
who took on such a massive project, and detail confirming everything went very precisely. There was a lot of activity, and the timing was excellent, and again, and I look forward to serving you for at least the next 2 years. So today we do not have any public hearings scheduled, so we're gonna move forward, and we're gonna open the meeting up for public comments on any of the resolutions that we have before us today. Can you please come forward? Please
Sal
limit your
Mastropaolo, Calverton.
Sal, 1 second, please. Can you please limit your comments to 5 minutes and state your hamlet? Yes,
Resolution number 28.
great.
Is it legal for them to charge a fee? The school district piggybacks on state contracts all the time, and I've never heard them get billed for a fee, just to piggyback off a state contract.
Hold on 1 second, let me pull up the resolution.
Resolution number 28.
No, 23.
It's
23 is the
yeah,
resolution.
23 on the list, 28.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh,
I have
Oh,
28.
9.23 then.
Yeah, it's actually
Non-discrimination.
It's just 23 on the list.
it's resolution number
It's Bob.
28.
Bob,
I
are you
don't remember
familiar,
23.
Bob, are you familiar with this?
Who set the fees for here?
This is, was done by,
This came from accounting. This came from Teresa.
yeah, but I believe this was looked at by us, and, you know, the answer is, I'm under the understanding it is an authorized thing that they can do. They can ask for that registration fee.
Okay, because I've never heard of
I think it was in
any
last-
kind of
I
a
think it was in last
registration
year's
fee if you're
register.
piggybacking.
I think it was in last year's, resolution as well, so.
Okay. 9-39. In the resolution, the first whereas says the Town of Riverhead Sanitation Department. And in the attachment, the notice to bidders, it says for use by the Town of Riverhead Sewer District.
So what, our resolution numbers are not matching up to
Yeah, I
yours.
don't know which.
Our resolution number 39 is
item
approves a
39.
settlement.
Right.
Well, I don't know if you want to use that number up in the upper right-hand corner, which is
39,
9.39, or if you want to use 2020-44.
The
44 is the
resolution would be
resolution.
clear, yes.
Okay, Resolution 44.
There is no resolution.
There is not.
2020-44.
Oh.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a rebid. That's Steve Van with the adaptive equipment.
Oh, boy. It should be sanitation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
It should be sanitation,
So,
then change the
The notice to bid
notice
should
to
be clear,
bidders.
Yeah.
Okay?
I think it's
It
already
says
gone
sewer
to the press.
district.
It's gone to the press already, so we'll have to do an addendum. Okay.
That's
All
it.
right. Thank you. Okay.
45. I voted for it.
It says, second sentence on the notice, read on the river, so it should be sanitation. All right.
Thank you for your comments. Does anyone else want to come forward? All right, seeing no one, hearing, oh.
The question is, there's no resolution for the parking on Sound Avenue today?
No?
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, hearing no one, we are gonna move on to the resolutions. Diane, can you call the resolutions,
Sure.
please?
Resolution number 6.
I'm just trying to put these in order. Here, this is 19.
Okay.
Number 6.
Okay.
Set salaries of elected officials for the year 2020. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution number 7.
Set salaries of general town employees for the year 2020. So moved.
I don't know if this is the right place to ask, Bob. I just wanted to ask, I think this resolution still had the town board coordinator in there. Does that matter? I mean, I saw it yesterday, and I saw it when I looked in there.
We're still setting a salary
It's
for a
setting the
town board
salary for the
coordinator.
Well, that's
position.
what, so that stays in there?
Yes.
Okay, seconded?
Vote second. Excuse me.
That's okay. Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution number 8.
Set salaries of highway department for the year. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution number 9.
Set salaries of police officers for the year 2020.
Second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 10.
Set salaries of sewer scavenger waste district for the year 2020. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution number 11.
Set salaries of street lighting district for the year 2020. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 12.
Set salaries of water district employees for the year 2020. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 13.
Set salaries of various boards for the year 2020. So moved.
I'll second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 14.
Reclassifies the position of an account clerk. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 15.
Authorizes stipend with town engineer. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yeah,
I-
this is for the
sorry.
stop program that he conducts on Saturdays at the highway yard. So the employees that we ask to go above and beyond outside of the town's normal working schedule, we give stipends to, because it is extra work, and there's a log that he has to sign his engineer's certificate to, so being licensed, and that's why we're giving him the stipend. Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 16.
Reappoints town attorney Robert Kasikevich. So moved?
Second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 17.
Reappoints town historian. So moved.
Second.
Vote, please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 18.
Ratifies the appointment of a temporary student intern two to the Fire Marshal's Division of the Department of Land Management. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 19.
Appoints a call-in recreation aide to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 20.
Appoint financial advisor, so moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 21.
Appoints a justice to East End Regional Intervention Court. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 22.
Appoints bond counsel. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 23.
Maintains policy of non-discrimination. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 24.
Adopts 2020 living wage, so moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 25.
Adopts investment policy. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 26.
Authorizes the attendance of the 2020 annual meeting and training school held by the Association of Towns, February 16th through 19th, 2020. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 27.
Authorizes the increase of the interest petty cash account for the town attorney's office. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 28.
Authorization to register and remit registration fee to Nassau BOCES necessary to piggyback GML 10316 from Nassau BOCES. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 29.
Authorizes annual agreement with Business Automation Services, Inc. for software support, maintenance, and licensing. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 30.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement with Flynn Stenography and Transcription Services for transcription of town meetings. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 31.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute an agreement for court reporter service, Peggy Schaefer. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 32.
Authorizes professional services agreement with Prestige Data Incorporated. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 33.
Authorization to reject bid for traffic signal maintenance and emergency repair. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 34.
Award a bid for chemicals for sewer district. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 35.
General fund budget transfer. So moved.
Seconded?
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 36.
Budget adjustment for EPCAL bike path. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
And thank the Titan Run for donating this $1,000 so that we can get the mirrors and signage to make the trail safer. Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 37.
CDBG, Recovery Aid Project.
Make sure you
Number
get that right.
16915, budget adjustment. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 38.
Approve settlement of claim, Christine Benoski. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 39.
Approve settlement of claim made by Liberty Mutual General Insurance Company on behalf of Raymond Guido, claim number 22-2019. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 40.
Authorize the supervisor to execute change order number 1, installations of variable frequency well at well number 3A, Riverhead Water District. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 41.
Edwards Avenue Capital Project Plan number 71904, project closure. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 42.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a stipulation with Local 1000, AFSCME, AFL-CIO, Riverhead Unit of the Suffolk Local Number 852. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 43.
Authorizes the supervisor to execute a renewal agreement with Nextera One LLC, DBA Black Box Network Services regarding telephone maintenance nunc-pro-tunc. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 44.
Authorizes the town clerk to publish and post rebid for 1 used van with adaptive equipment. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 45.
Appoints official newspaper for the town of Riverhead. So moved.
Second.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. This pays bills is Resolution 46, even though you don't see the number there, it is 46.
Resolution number 46 pays the bills. So moved.
Seconded.
Vote please.
Bayrock.
Yes.
Kent.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes.
Giglio.
Yes.
Aguirre.
Yes.
Resolution adopted.
All right, moving forward, we are now going to open the floor for public comment. Please come forward. You have 5 minutes, and state your name and your hamlet, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Mike Foley. I live in Reeves Park. Tim, I'd like to congratulate you on your reelection.
Thank you.
I've been here for many meetings, and you certainly have the propensity to listen and to change your mind based on what you hear. I think that's a very positive thing, and I hope that can be unanimous on the board. I think it's a very positive thing.
Mike, tell my wife that.
Well, that's for another time. That's for another time.
Thank you.
Frank, I want to congratulate you on your election. Second time I think that you ran. Second time's the charm. I wish you luck over the next couple of years.
Thanks.
Yvette, I want to congratulate you on your election as supervisor.
Thank you.
About a week before the election, there was a wonderful Halloween candy giveaway for kids on Main Street. I had my 2 granddaughters there. I ran into you on Main Street, and we had a very nice 2-minute conversation where you asked for my vote, and I told you that I was supporting Laura. I, at the same time, thanked you for your running. I know it's tough to get into the arena, and you got in there, and you won. So I certainly respect that. I did not make your inauguration, but I did hear your acceptance speech. And I really appreciate and hope that the tone that you showed there, the fact that you mentioned you weren't gonna look for anything in a myopic way, that you were gonna look at things panoramically, that you were gonna listen to everybody, and not just the people that supported you, but to everybody. I think if you have that position and show that over the next 2 years, I think you'll have my vote in 2022 because it's something that the town needs. So on that note, I just have 2 quick questions. The prior 2 supervisors had quarterly roundtables for Civic Association members. I found it mutually beneficial to Sean and to Laura. Are you continuing that process?
Absolutely. Actually, in August, I had a gathering at the Birchwood Restaurant, a neutral location, and it was open to all the civic groups and all the groups of faith and the entire community. I published it in the Riverhead Local. There was no cost for that, and that was one of the doors that I opened. And I understand there was a bridge with civic groups, and I'm going to continue building that bridge, and no one's going to be exempt. And I did run on an all-inclusive, and now that I'm elected, I'm working for all of taxpayers. It's unethical to work based on, once elected, based on your political affiliation. Actually, as a professor, I do teach that politics and ethics. And I will continue, and thank you for asking, and I will be reaching out to them in the near future, and we're going to continue that
Wonderful.
conversation.
The 2 people that arranged those meetings, unfortunately, I forget the name of the woman who was wonderful working for Sean, and Patrick, who worked for Laura. Gave a couple of weeks lead time, included all the civics, and took RSVPs. It was very efficient on a reminder. And we normally got about a month's notice. And it was, it was probably a dozen or so people that attended it. Probably 8 to 10 civics were represented, although more were invited. I think it'll be a wonderful thing for you to continue, and I look forward to hopefully getting an invitation, as I am on a board of directors.
And that will be handled by my executive assistant, my secretary, and I will be reaching out, and
What is that person's name, Yvette?
right now, we're in transition.
Okay.
So I will be providing that to you, but send me an email with your contact info, and I'll be in touch with you.
Well, I know that you kept Patrick on a transitional
Yes, but
basis.
he's
And I know Patrick has all of the contact information
Yes.
for all the civics, so I'm sure whoever you appoint will be able to
Right,
get all that
I'm in the
information.
middle of that right now, so.
Of course.
Absolutely, just give me your.
Rome wasn't built in a day, Yvette, so it takes a little bit of time, I understand
That's
that. And finally, I know that EPCAL is one of the 5 or 6 major issues that you focused on during the campaign.
Yes.
And I know that you are now the 3rd supervisor that had an agreement on EPCAL. And hopefully you'll be able to close this deal. I do understand that there are some contingencies between 555 and the town, one of which I think I'm aware of is the fact that the zoning on the parcels on EPCAL are supposed to be considered and dropped down to 8 before they would proceed with the sale. And I'm just looking at Jody because she knows about this as much as anybody on the board. And I was just wondering, is there a time frame for that zoning decision to be made and what that process would be? And then a very quick follow-up, and then I'm going to leave.
Okay.
And that is the completion of the $40 million sale. I would imagine as soon as the completion is done, the $40 million will be deposited in the town bank. And reading on 555's history over the last 2 or 3 months, they've had some problems with the mall in New Jersey, some problems in Miami. I don't believe, no matter what good intentions 555 has, that they're going to be breaking ground on this anytime soon. So my question would be, what would the tax base be for vacant land until they break ground? Thank you very much for your time.
Okay. We have until, I believe it's May 11th. Okay, and if the subdivision is not completed, they're going to get some extra time. And right now, we're waiting for the DEC. There's a couple of designations that we're waiting for. And I will be reaching out to the agencies concerned. Actually, tomorrow I'm going to Albany, and I'm hoping to have a meeting with someone related to the DEC. So I will be reaching out to the individuals concerned, and as far as, you mentioning that there's been some press, negative press on the prospective buyers, you know, unfortunately, once you have a contract, the judges don't look at people's reputation, they look at the money, and it's a contract, unfortunately. As much as I wanted to save 1,000 acres, it is in contract, is a legal matter at the moment. We've had 3 attorneys look at the contract, at a cost of $100,000, and they've all ruled that we have to go forward. So as an individual who now is, you know, overseeing this project, I have to look at the legal, restrictions that I may have. But one thing I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna make sure that if we are going forward, that the 1,000 acres are preserved, and there are ways of doing it. I've been following EPCAL, and no one's touched on this, but there are ways of making sure that that land is protected. And it is in the contract, but no one's spoken about it. So, for example, we make sure that we solidify that in the deed with our attorneys, that it can't be used for anything else. And, you know, there are things that we can do. I have been briefed by Mr. Eisner, the attorney on the case, and I need to get back to him with some more information. I just took office, this is my 4th day here. It's not an excuse, but I will be versed on it, and if we have to move forward, which I anticipate we are, then we have to make sure that we protect, you know, that land, and hopefully utilize the money, and give some of it back to the public, maybe
Sounds like you've-
stabilize our tax.
Sounds like you're very well versed on it already, Yvette. Thank you very much for your
Okay.
time and your explanation.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Foley.
Can I just elaborate on that a minute? So the 8-lot subdivision is what's in the process right now through the planning board and then also through the DEC and the Suffolk County Department of Health Services. Once they come in to develop the lots that they will actually be purchasing, because some of the parcels in that 8-lot subdivision, the town will retain ownership of. So when they come forth for their site plan application to show the development that would take place on that lot, they'll be back before the planning board. So everybody will have an opportunity to weigh in on that at the time that they come in with their development plan through the public hearings.
Mike, the estimated tax to come in, once they sign on the dotted line, is estimated according to the assessor's office between 3 and 4 million, closer to 4 million per year.
On vacant land?
Yes.
Yep,
Yes,
That's wonderful.
and
they can't get IDA credits on vacant land.
Right.
no IDA credits, and we're also paying, I think it's about $100,000 in insurance, something along that way. So we're gonna, it's gonna stabilize our government, hopefully, if it goes forward. You have to look at both sides.
Hi, I'm Christy Hawkins of Baiting Hollow, and that was like a perfect segue because I had this like whole speech prepared, and really it just, what you just said and the conversation, the dialogue that just kind of brewed, changes really what I was going to say, because I'm coming to just share that as a Calverton Civic member and a member of the EPCAL Watch Group, we we have a petition circulating to support saving that 1,000 acres. And coming here today, I wanted to congratulate everybody, and really,
Thank you.
I mean, thank you so much for your hard work already. And I wanted to share that this petition was such a minimal, like I have no idea how to do this online, like stuff, this push. As of like a couple hours ago, you have 2,783 and growing residents and neighbors supporting the preservation of the 1,000 acres, along with 15 civics and environmental groups. And again, that's like very minimal push. And I hope we can do it. I hope we can do it, you know. And I think something you might like to just know is that just last week, 2 adult bald eagles were spotted on the property and 2 juvenile bald eagles. So it's an important property for a lot of reasons. But if there's any doubt, and if anyone has the time, can take a day off of work like I did today to speak with you, I'd love to walk with you, share the property with you, and see what we own, right? So Thank you for listening, and I have copies, so I have one for each of you for the petition and the list of groups that are supporting. Okay, so thank you.
And thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All right, yeah.
Anyone else?
Can I see that? Was that the petition?
Yeah, she's gonna give us a copy. Hi.
Hi there. I'm Takwi Turchin. I'm the president of the Greater Calverton Civic. You and I have met, Supervisor, previously, and wanted to welcome your entire new board for 2020 and to congratulate you on the election. And I want to also echo that the sentiments that Mike Foley made about your inaugural speech, I attended also, and I was very heartened to hear your words. The reason for my coming this afternoon and taking time off of work also to be here is very quick and simple. In the last quarter of 2019, I came before the town board and presented an 8-page letter, and I'm just here today to submit it into the record officially and to make sure that Councilman Bayrod and yourself have copies as well. It is electronically available to you, and board members previously had them available by digital and also by the submittal, but I want to make sure today that it's resubmitted for the benefit of you both. And that's it.
Well, thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon. John Cullen, Northville.
Hi.
Congratulations for the newcomers.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to all. I'm also with the Northville Civic Association, and I'm glad to hear that the quarterly roundtables are still going to be coming around. I think it's been very helpful. I'm part of that. I'm part of my civic association. We've had many dealings over in Northville recently with the town board, and like to keep bringing you up to date as far as how we stand on a lot of issues. I'm also a part of the Helicopter Noise Task Force, which Riverhead, if you live along the water in Riverhead on the Sound, or if you live toward the eastern end of town, the helicopters are a major issue. And I just heard that you mentioned that you plan on heading up to Albany shortly to speak with the DEC.
Well, I'm setting up a meeting, but yes,
Well-
I'm gonna be in Albany tomorrow on a few different issues pertaining to Riverhead.
If you could arrange a meeting with the DOT and let them know where we stand and how we are being affected, it would be very helpful for our team.
I understand. When I was out meeting my community from June to November 4th, there were times I had to stop the conversations,
Very good.
and I fully understand.
Riverhead was lucky enough that they did have an FAA meeting here back about a year and a half ago. It ended up kind of being a joke, and it still is a joke. We've never received any information from the FAA after that meeting. We also had a meeting here with the Eastern Region Helicopter Council, and I'd like to just hope that we can still stay on top of them.
Well, I was here for that long meeting. To get
That
into
wasn't a
the,
long
like,
one. I've been here for a lot
10:30
longer.
at night. And I heard you loud and clear.
The people spoke that
The
night.
people spoke and I heard you loud and clear. However, I'm not too sure if that was the best forum because the individual here was an advocate for the pilots. So
You
they were-
mean
they're
Mr.
lobbyists.
Smith?
Yes. He was
Yes.
a lobbyist for the pilot, so I'm not too sure how far we got, as far as we can get. We need
I understand
somebody
what you're saying,
who can
and I-
make more policy and can have a direct impact on changing the flight patterns. And I'm not sure that Mr. Smith, again, he was an advocate for the pilots, and he's a lobbyist for the, in Albany for the pilots. So I'm
most
not
of
too
us
sure
know
that.
that.
It was a full house, and I made sure that I was here on that day, but we might have to reapproach.
Thank you for your
And we
attendance
do
for
have a
that.
council member who's very involved, and Catherine, you're the helicopters, yes. So Catherine will be, she's heavily involved, and we will have conversations in this regard.
I know, and I'm aware that the 5 town supervisors get together about once a month for a
Yes.
lunch meeting, and I hope that will be part of the discussion when you meet the 4 members. And it usually is.
Yes.
The airport is broken, and it needs to be fixed, and if it can't be fixed, it should be closed.
I understand there's some type of group, Helicopter 2020?
There are
There's some
many
type of
groups.
some type of group that is advocating to shut down the, 'cause I understand the contract ends of the East
That's
Hampton
correct.
Airport
Right.
next year, or this
Yes,
this
the
year?
FAA has been funding the airport.
Yes, so I
And
think that
and
might be
East
an
Hampton
avenue.
decided to stop taking those funds, and those funds end August 2021.
2021, so that might be an avenue that everybody should start pursuing also. I think it's,
We
it
have been.
appears, so you have been.
Yes.
Perfect to hear, and, good, and I'll be on top of that one.
Thank you for your
also,
time, and good
thank
luck with
you.
everything.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Okay, so again, 5 minutes,
John?
and state your name and your hamlet, please.
John McAuliffe from Rolling Woods.
Yes, Mr. McAuliffe.
First of all, I wanted to share the congratulations for the new year, but also for the new board members and the returning board member. Regardless of the positions we took during the election, you are the elected board, and we're very glad to have the opportunity to work with you, and especially with the spirit that you set at the inauguration. Couple of specific questions. Well, first of all, I wanted to say that if what you were suggesting on the 1,000 acres was the possibility of some kind of a permanent easement on them in the actual deed, I think that would tremendously relieve a lot of the anxieties that
It
people in
hasn't been
town.
pursued before, but as a real estate agent, I'm very
You-
familiar.
exactly.
Yes, and I'm surprised that it hasn't been, and that's gonna be something that I am wholeheartedly gonna push with our attorneys and make sure, and it is in the contract, so we might have to go with the contract. I didn't create the contract, we have to live with the legality of it. If we do, then we have to make sure that those 1,000 acres are preserved and that it's done in a solid, you can't come back 5 years from now with a new board and new ideas and new planning, and so there are ways legally to ensure that, and I'm determined to pursue that.
And you cannot overestimate how much relief that will give people in
Mr.
town.
McAuliffe,
mean,
I
it's-
moved to Riverhead, first Hampton Bays, 1999, and then 7.5 years ago. If you live in Hampton Bays, you do everything in Riverhead, shop, motor vehicle, all your friends are here.
Except the ocean.
Yeah, yeah. And about 8 years ago, I contracted to buy my home, build a home here, and I could have gone anywhere in the world, and I chose Riverhead. So I'm here. My husband even bought a plot for a family, so we're here for a while.
No,
Okay, so I intend to
similarly
be
for
here.
us, we turned a summer house into a permanent residence. So the
Yeah.
specific, one question I had, your reference to the attorneys. I wonder if you could update us on the status of the third attorney that was hired a few months ago, whether he will continue at this point? And second, if his report is going to be made public.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Anyone else?
Hello, my name is Robert Skinner. I live in Jamesport, and helicopter noise and traffic on the North Fork are the two things that I'm most concerned about. You, Supervisor Aguirre, you mentioned that the 2021 deadline with the FAA. There's in many people's opinions who've been dealing with this for years, there's a more significant deadline that comes up in August of 2020.
Okay.
And the August 2020 deadline is when, and it's listed in the letter that I submitted, it is involving the rescind, renew, or revise the current North Shore route as was established by the FAA through Senator Schumer back in the day. And I think the concept of not dealing with the Eastern Region Helicopter Council because their pilot advocacy group, unfortunately, the FAA relies on their information. So we have to deal with them. But we also have to get the FAA to look at this in a more proximal manner, meaning we can't let this 2020 deadline slide. And so I'm asking on behalf of those of us who live under this transition route that be considered by yourself and the town board as the first target date in dealing with this issue, as opposed to merely waiting for the theoretical coming together of the 5 towns to get the airport to close. Because I kept your proposal number 7 on helicopter noise from the campaign, and I don't see how waiting for the East Hampton, we don't have control over what East Hampton does in the same way that you stated in this, that we don't have control over the airspace. The only thing we can do is to influence the FAA at this point in time to do something with the actual nuts and bolts of the North Shore route, or to get rid of it altogether and establish a South Shore route. And these are the things that I hope are not overlooked in the transition, because this is what was stated to us in the FAA meeting that John referenced from back in 2018. As far as there was allegedly a conduit set up with ERHC to talk to them about what was presented at the October 2019 meeting. I don't know where that's gone. That was going to be done, quote, from the supervisor's seat, which you now occupy. I don't know if you're going to follow through with that. The Eastern Region Helicopter Council, through their board, puts together their routes allegedly in March. John Cullen and I have been to those meetings, and so it's kind of like the time is now. I realize that there's a lot on your plate. I realize there's a lot on the town's plate. But what I'm begging is to please not let this be looked at as, well, we don't have to do anything until May and June when helicopters arrive, because which is why you got what you got listed on the agenda in December, okay, as a follow-up to previous reports, if you will, to the FAA, in an effort to keep this on the radar screen, to be able to keep the momentum going. Because if there's nothing and it falls off, okay, until the helicopters arrive in May, it may be too late to keep this deadline in mind. And Catherine Kent Councilperson Kent has copies of the other stuff that we've sent in, that I've sent in, that other individuals have sent to FAA and to ERHC, and I again would hope that this can be continued with the same intensity, if you will.
We intend to do so.
Thank
And
you.
we're on it. Thank you.
We'll all work together on it.
Yes.
It would be nice if Schumer and Gillibrand focused on that, because they did at the meeting say they were focusing on the overwater route.
Yes.
Sorry, just real quick, if I could respectfully ask that the petition be submitted to the official record?
Sure.
Thank you.
It's not really a petition.
It's for signatures, that's why it's a petition.
There's no signatures.
I thought she said it was a signature petition.
Yeah, I don't see any signatures on this petition. I only see a group of names. Okay, so the clerk, I guess, you'll do that?
Perfect. Thank you. Hi.
Name is Anthony Wetzel. Supervisor Aguilar, I would like to change the subject slightly from what you've been discussing.
Okay.
And that is that we have no problem with the town taxes for senior citizens, but when it comes to one other thing called the school budget, it's out of control. Is within your purview as having the bully pulpit for the town. Please work on getting relief for the senior citizens who've been paying school taxes since when? We've had enough. Start leading the revolution, because it's within your power. Enough said, thank you.
Thank you for your comment.
Yeah, school board meeting tonight at 7 o'clock, in case anybody wants to go. Eric Biegler, Reeves Park, how is
How are you?
everybody? Happy New Year.
Likewise.
Great to have you all here. Welcome to the new guys and everybody else. Nice having you. I really don't have a lot to say, except for I'm here to work with you guys, help you out in what needs to be done. I do want to bring up one point on this January 7th day, a little chilly outside. One of the greatest assets that the town of Riverhead has is its beaches and parks. And I have been an advocate for getting control over what goes on our town beaches for years, with very limited results. And I'm hoping this year you can direct me to the town council person who's going to be kind of liaisoning with the recreation department and with the legal department to kind of get our town codes together, and so that we have enforceable town codes, we can put an effort through with our code enforcement and police department, and make Riverhead residents first when it comes to our beaches and parks. Because believe me, Riverhead is not first. We are being abused by people who are not paying huge taxes like we are. So I'm hoping you could direct me to that right person.
I could do it right now.
That's
Tim
what I
Hubbard.
want. Who?
Tim Hubbard.
Tim,
Town
we'll
rec
be talking.
coordinator.
I have a meeting with Ray tomorrow, and I'm gonna be talking to him about some things. It's a little early to be talking about beaches, but permits are coming out soon.
It's not, because we have to set the codes and everything, so it has to be done.
Absolutely. So I'm here to work with you. I worked with Mr. Kosakevich's office many years ago to look at the code and get it a little more defined. I know there's some legal issues there, but then I'm looking also to the police department chief to kind of enforce some more things. Some things were done last year that helped a little bit, but still, by the middle of the summer, things were like the Wild West down there, and that's not what we want. We want to keep things pretty, beautiful, accessible, and Riverhead residents first.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kathy Beresny, Riverhead.
Hi.
I'd just like to congratulate Yvette and Tim and Frank on your election. Also, Yvette, I'd like you to make sure you meet our town historian. She's full of legacy knowledge. She makes Riverhead shine. I know you're new to the area. There's a lot of history going back to our town. And I'd like to request that you look into where she actually works. Her office is very small, and she does an awful lot for our town. And so I hope that you'll meet with her one day, maybe sit with her for a couple hours and find out her needs and maybe some wants that she has. And I think that you'd be amazed at what she does on the little amount that she receives and the little office that she inhabits. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, moving forward, can I have a first, second, and a second to close this meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Aye.
So carried. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.